Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Q&A for week 2 on ministry and marketplace. Shabbat Shalom. I pray you're having a great morning. I'm looking forward to sharing this next time with you. So welcome again. Thank you for connecting with us today. Thank you for being with us today. I see someone has joined me already. Please write your name in the chat box so I'll know who you are. I'll know who you are. And again, I want to welcome you. So I do have quite a PowerPoint for us today. I'm going to go ahead and let's see, go ahead and put that up now. All right, so we're excited to be here today. As I said, this is week 2 of our Q&A for ministry and the marketplace, and we're actually here to promote the boot camp that we will be hosting starting on Saturday, July the 1st. So that's in just about 2 weeks from today. And we are hopeful that you're going to be interested in connecting with us. The boot camp is going to take place for almost a month, maybe 28 days in the month of July. We're going to be going deep in the topic of navigating between ministry and marketplace. And we've just got a lot of exciting things that's going to be taking place during July. So you can actually go here in our chat box. We already have, we're offering a free ebook. You can download that. Now that's whether you sign up for the camp or not, whether you sign up for the boot camp. The free ebook is yours, so you can sign up for that. And then the second link is the link Expanding Horizons, Learning Ministry, Learning Marketplace Boot Camp. And you can go there and learn more about the boot camp, okay? So those are the 2 links that we want to share with you. And we're going to get started in about 2 minutes. We always like to give people an opportunity to join us. Again, I see one other person on, and so if you would just go ahead and write your name in the chat box. That's the only way I know who's watching, who's on with us right now. All right. You don't have to write your name, but I would like to know who you are. Okay. Yeah, so the month is moving, and we'll be in the month of Tammuz, moving into Tammuz. So we'll be doing our prophetic perspective on the Hebrew month. We're going to schedule it for Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday at 7:30. And okay, so that person is gone. All right, so I'm going to wait 1 more minute, and we're going to go ahead and get started even. Okay. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, good to see you. Thank you for joining us this morning. I pray you're doing well. Thank you. So we're going to wait 1 more minute, see if anyone else is going to join us, and then we're going to get started. All right. Also, please know that this is a Q&A, even though I'm doing some teaching. I'm not going to be doing an exhaustive teaching. We're just simply sharing some insight on certain topics. And so then we want to take your questions. So you can go ahead and write your questions in the chat box, and when we're done with our sharing and talking, then we'll move into the Q&A. Okay. All right. So today we wanted to talk about our apostles and prophets in the marketplace. One of the terms that I've seen a lot of in the YouTube space and in the internet space, when we talk about marketplace and ministry, and then one of the terms that we often come across is marketplace ministry, which we don't believe is we don't believe that in that particular term or that terminology. But there are a lot of persons who embrace that understanding because it's been in the church for a very long time. All right, and so we want to talk about today: are there apostles and are there prophets in the marketplace? Is there such a thing as a marketplace apostle, a marketplace prophet? Did Jesus give these gifts to the church, or did he give them to the marketplace? And that's what we're gonna speak on today. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to move back here. Okay, so what I believe the question deals with. Wow, we jumped up to 5. So listen, as you're coming on, write your name. Let me know who you are. Write your name in the chat box, and also take a look at the 2 links that we have in the top of the chat box. We're offering a free ebook, and we have another. The second link will take you to the landing page where we're talking about the boot camp, the ministry and marketplace boot camp. Okay, so I believe that the question, I won't say that there are not, I'm not saying that there are not apostles and prophets in the marketplace. What I am saying is that the apostle in the marketplace is not called to the marketplace as an apostle. The prophet in the marketplace is not called to the marketplace as a prophet. I'm an apostle. My apostleship is the ministry that I operate in the church or in the community of God's people. Okay. When I'm in the marketplace as a coach, as a creativity coach. That's what I've been certified in. As a ministry and marketplace coach, as a writing coach. Okay, these are my functions in the marketplace. They do not cancel out the gift that I have been called to by Jesus. Jesus was the one who said, I am an apostle. Jesus gave the apostles to the church, okay? And so as a result of that, the apostle, the prophet, the teacher, the evangelist, and the pastor, they are all gifts that have been given to the church. So in Ephesians 4:11, if you've got your Bible, I would encourage you to turn there. I'm going to turn. And this is, of course, a familiar passage of scripture, but I think it's one that will help us to understand, okay, Jesus' purpose in these gifts. Why did Jesus give these gifts? And to whom did Jesus give these gifts? Okay. So in Ephesians 4:11, it says, and he himself, Jesus Christ, gave some to be apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors and teachers. All right. So these are gifts that Jesus gave to the church. So that's why I take exception with the idea that he gave these gifts to the marketplace, because I see the church being different from the marketplace. Okay. Now, the church is the place for ministry. And I believe that we are all ministers, but we're not all called to the ministry. Okay, please understand what I'm saying. There are ministers who have a calling on them. That is what is called a vocational ministry, because their ministry becomes their vocation or their life. It becomes, and when I say life, I'm not talking about total life. I'm saying that they are called to life. They're called to the ministry for life. Okay. The Lord called me to the ministry when I was 17 years old. That will be 40 years in March of next year. This is a lifetime call. But when he called me to the ministry, it wasn't the only thing that he had called me to. When I was a little boy, I remember one of a life-changing experience I had when I was 10 years old. And I loved to read as a child. I loved reading. I was reading as early as age 4 or 5. So when I went to kindergarten, I was already reading. And I loved reading. And when I was 10 years old for Christmas, my mother purchased me a copy of Roots by Alex Haley. And that book changed my life, because Alex Haley became a model for my life. And I really believe the Lord used Alex Haley to quicken within me the desire to write and to be a writer. And so at 10, I wanted to write. I wanted to be like Alex Haley. I wanted to write books. It would be 30 years before I would accomplish that dream. I was 42 when I wrote my first book. But before I entered into ministry, I had another dream, okay? It was a marketplace dream. And so even though I entered into the ministry at 17 and was called to my first church at 26, and for most of my life, the ministry took over my life, because I had this mindset that everything I did was ministry, all right? But what we're talking about is when the Lord called me, and then when the Lord revealed to me that I was an apostle in 2012, 11 years now, he was revealing that to me as a function, as a gift, that I am a gift to the body of Christ, to the church. If ministry was never supposed to be my life, it is a part of my life, okay? But also marketplace is not supposed to be my life, but marketplace was to be a part of my life, all right? And so when Jesus gave the gifts, he gave the gifts to the church. Now, unfortunately, many persons have taken this text, Ephesians 4, and they have made it, they have taken it beyond the scope of what Jesus intended, which often happens when people are ambitious and people want to do more. Sometimes, listen, and sometimes ambition is not wrong, but ambition can sometimes cause you to become misguided. And so some people, instead of saying, well, the apostle, the prophet, the teacher, the evangelist, the pastor were given to the church. They were given to the church. These are persons who have been given to the church. Now, the question is, are there apostles and prophets in the marketplace? Well, of course there is. Every time I enter into the marketplace, I'm still an apostle, okay? These gifts are not titles and positions that you can put on and pull off. You can put them on and pull them off, okay? So when I go to the marketplace, I pull off my gift as an apostle. I pull off my identity as an apostle. I pull off the vocational call as an apostle. No, that's not how it works. But I must understand how to navigate, okay? Navigation is what gives me success in both ministry and marketplace. So I know how to function as an apostle in the church, but I also know how to function as a YouTuber in the marketplace. Now, I use YouTube for both ministry and marketplace, okay? Right now, this is a marketplace event, even though it looks like ministry because I'm teaching from the word, but this is really marketplace because my intention is to get you to join my boot camp, okay? So I'm not trying to get you to join my ministry. I'm not trying to get you in the ministry, but I want to give you an opportunity to join my boot camp, marketplace. Y'all understand what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying, just write in the chat box. I'm with you. I follow you. If you don't understand, I want you to write, I don't understand, because I want you to have a complete understanding of what I am talking about. Okay. Now, when Jesus gave the gifts, which we just read here in Ephesians 4:11, he had a purpose for these gifts. He gave the gifts to the church, and his purpose, he had a purpose. What was his purpose? Well, he gave the gifts to the church so that these gifts could equip the saints to do ministry. Again, there's a misunderstanding about where is ministry done, because most of us think that ministry is everywhere and everything, but it is not. Ministry is an activity that takes place in the community of the church. All right. And again, there are those who are called to vocational ministry. Those are our leader gifts. Those are our ministry gifts. Those are the apostles, the prophets, the teachers, the evangelists and pastors. All right. They are given to equip. And that word equip means to make whole. It means to add to what is lacking. And so when I am lacking in a place in my life to do ministry, I come alongside of a ministry gift, and this ministry gift has the grace on my life. All right. It has the grace. There's a grace on the apostle who I follow. Now, I am being mentored by an apostle. And my apostle, she is an incredible woman of God who not only walks in the grace of God, but she also has an understanding of ministry. Now, and so she is, as my apostle, she equips me, okay? Even though I'm an apostle, she still equips me. She makes me whole. She adds to my life what I need to do the ministry that I'm called to do, all right? And then also the apostle and prophet, they edify or they build up. They build up, okay? That word edify means to build. And so these gifts are given to build us. They're given to build the body. We are all if you are a born again believer, whether you are a part of a community or not, you are being built up, and that is the function of the community. Okay, so we have these ministry gifts, we have the vocational ministry, and then we all though have a ministry within the congregation. Now, the thing is that this is where most local churches, most traditional churches miss it, is that they relegate all ministry to the one in the pulpit or the one who leads. So he's the one doing all the ministry, and we're all sitting in the pews to receive the ministry from him or her. And that's really not what ministry is about. So each one of us has a gift, okay? Each one of us has a gift. You need to know your gift, because it is in your gifting where you minister to other believers. Hopefully those believers are in the community that you are a part of. But let's say you're not a part of a community. Let's say that you're not a part of a ministry, whether it's online or whether it's live, okay? You still need to be in a place where you minister to people according to your gifts. All right. And your gifts is what then your gift is what allows you to edify the body. So in that instance, we all are given the ministry of edification, okay, because we all have a gift to build up the body of Christ, whether it's through prophecy or whether it's through encouragement or through comfort. You know, we all have gifts that are given to build up the body. All right. And then as we're building the body, we are making the body perfect. That word perfect means to be mature. Okay. So these gifts have been given to the church to mature the church. Now, again, one of the reasons why we don't see maturity in the church, we don't see maturity among leadership. I was watching a very disheartening video, and I watch these videos because I understand my call to the church. My call as an apostle to the church is to call the church to reformation and renaissance. Reformation means to be reformed or to come out of being deformed, okay? But I understand that reformation will not come to the traditional church. It will not come to the established church. They have too much to lose to reform their church, okay? And so reformation will come to those who will leave the traditional church and then be reformed, okay, or begin to function in a new type of forming. So the Reformation is to be reformed. That's what I'm called to do, to call the church to reformation. And then Renaissance means to bring the church to new birth. Okay. And I know, the ideal of being born again, it speaks to those who are not saved, but it also speaks to those who are lost in religion and rituals. So Renaissance means to be born again. It means to have life again and to be renewed, okay? And so what I often do is I look at the traditional church, not in judgment, okay? I don't judge the church. I'm not condemning the church. I'm not criticizing the church, but I look at it to see, is it coming into reformation? And the sad and tragic news is that for those traditional churches that have, they have buildings, they have people, they have money, they have land. For the most part, they are not coming to reformation. They are dying, and many of them are dead in the spirit. Now, a church can be dead and can still meet on Sundays. They can be dead and still look like they are alive. If they've got a lot of noise, they've got great music, they've got great preaching, and all of that. They have the appearance of life, but they are not alive because the life of God is no longer in that congregation. It's not in the leadership and it's not in the congregation. So I was looking at this church and the pastor had been fired because the church was run by a board, which is so ungodly and that is unbiblical. Corporate church will never walk in the will of God. So if you are a member of a church that is operating by a board, you have to understand that the board has more authority than the pastor or the bishop or whoever is the head, the apostle. Okay, so the board decided to fire this particular pastor, and he took his last Sunday. He knew he was fired. He knew he didn't belong there, but he took his last Sunday to take pot shots at the board and to tell the people how he had been mistreated. And I looked at another report, so it may not have just been the board. There may have been some issues with the pastor. But in this type of church, what I saw was a church that was not maturing, a church that was not doing ministry, and a church that was not, it wasn't walking in the Ephesians 4:11 light. And so this is why we must have apostles and prophets, teachers, evangelists, and pastors in the church. But when you have a pastoral-led church, you're not really going to have the type of church that it can be, because the grace of God is on the apostle. Okay, it's no longer on the pastor. So if you're going to a church that is led by a pastor, and this has nothing, so I should be talking about the boot camp, and I'm talking about the church, but this is my pastor. If you're going to a church with a pastor, that pastor is one of the gifts, but he is not the prominent, he is not the first gift. Okay, when I say first, I'm not saying that he's better than or greater than, but I'm saying in the sense of being the prototype and being the leader of leaders. Okay, the apostle is always first. All right. So let me get out of this. So the problem is most of these persons who are in ministry gifts, they are one dimensional. And what I mean by that is they believe in ministry only. Okay, they believe in ministry only. Don't you push me, Stephanie. I might stay here, but I gotta move on. Thank you for the encouragement though. All right. So and this is the problem we're seeing when ministers try to do their ministry in the marketplace. They are one dimensional. Okay, they have a ministry mindset. And so everything in their life is ministry only. It's ministry only. I used to be that kind of minister. Okay, now when your mindset is ministry only, everything is about ministry. Okay, your relationships are about ministry. Your marriage is about ministry. Raising your children is a ministry. You call your house a ministry. That's why these men who call themselves the priests of their house, okay, because they have a ministry mindset. They're one dimensional, and everything is about ministry, but it's not. But listen, being a part of a family, the Lord never intended for your family to be your ministry, okay? Now you may do ministry in your family, but your family is a different function. And this is really this is the life that the Lord Okay. Let me see what happened here. All right. I think I might have lost my something happened there. I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so if it goes off, I'm back on. So y'all just kind of stay with me, okay? All right, let me get back to my screen though. Gotta get back to the screen. All right. Yeah, something did change. All right. All right, y'all give me a minute. I don't know what happened here. Okay. All right. So then nothing happened on YouTube, but something happened. So when your when when your mindset is ministry only, everything you do is ministry. Okay, your work is your ministry, your daily life is your ministry. Uh, you're always the gift, you're always giving, you never rest, you never receive. Anytime anyone's trying to give to you or minister to you, you can't receive that because you're the minister, you're always the one giving. And so what happens to a lot of people, a lot of persons in ministry, they begin to burn out, they become disillusioned, and some even become bitter, which is a poison in your spirit. Okay, this is not God's intention. When God called you to ministry, He didn't just give you a ministry that would that would take over your life. Your ministry is a part of your life, but you are more than ministry. Okay, you are more than apostle, more than prophet, more than teacher or pastor or evangelist. You are more than just a minister in your congregation. All right. All right. So let me go to the next slide. All right. So many apostles and prophets and many of the gifts, you have other abilities. You have an acumen, you have talent for business, for commerce, entrepreneurship, innovation. Okay. I believe that many apostles, even though you are an apostle in the church, you are a coach in the marketplace. And a lot of times there's a connection between the life coach or a different niche and then being an apostle. A prophet has great abilities to be a consultant, a counselor. Okay, this is the person who hears God, so you can actually do a lot in terms of strategy in a business. Okay, you have to learn how to navigate, and this is what we're going to be dealing with in the boot camp that starts on July the 1st. So we're not trying to get you to walk away from your vocational call or even from your congregational call, okay? Your community call. You may operate in your community in your ministry, and people come to you because you have the gift of exhortation or the gift of counseling, or you are a person who has a great empathy for people, and so we're not trying to get you to leave that. We're just simply saying you have to know how to navigate, not taking your ministry into the marketplace, but recognizing that you have gifts. Okay. Navigation is knowing how to move. So I need to know when I'm moving from ministry to marketplace, from marketplace to ministry. Navigation is also knowing how to manage. Okay, how do I manage my ministry? How do I manage my business in the marketplace? And how do I keep them separate? Okay, and when we understand how to navigate, then that is when we will succeed in both. We will do ministry well, we will do marketplace well, and we will do life well, okay? Ministry is serving the Lord, serving his community. Marketplace is a place where your vision is fulfilled. God gives you a vision to create, to be creative. He gives you a vision to create a business or a course or something like that. And then you are building something tangible that's going to create income, could create wealth. It can create many opportunities for you to do what you are being called to do, okay? So even though the apostle and the prophet is not called to the marketplace, being apostolic and being prophetic is a calling to the marketplace. So I'm not an apostle in the marketplace, but I am apostolic. What is apostolic? Well, apostolic is walking in the nature. It's walking in the nature of the apostles. Jesus being the chief apostle, okay? It is walking with the heart of Jesus. And so when you have the heart of Jesus, you can do ministry well, or you can do marketplace well, because you have God's heart. So you're not like many, unfortunately, many people are being exposed for being scammers, for being crooked, for deceiving and even stealing from people here on YouTube. But when you have the heart of Jesus and you're on YouTube, you're going to walk with people. You're going to have a heart for people. You're going to want to give people the best value. You're going to want to treat people right. You're going to have good customer service. You're going to have you're going to be a person of integrity. So then walking in the ways of Jesus, hey, Latoria, thanks for joining us. Walking in the ways of Jesus and then having the mind of Christ. That is what being apostolic is. So you can be apostolic in the marketplace, and you can do well, you can succeed, you can be great in your field or in your industry or in your niche, okay? And then even though you may not be a prophet in the marketplace, you can be prophetic. Prophetic means to hear and discern the voice of the Lord. The Lord does not shut his voice off just because you are not in church. The Lord is always speaking. Okay, matter of fact, everything that I do in terms of my ministry, it is born out of me hearing God. So God was the one that told me to put together the boot camp. Even though no one has joined yet, I'm believing that there are some people that's going to connect with the boot camp, if not now, then maybe later. But I heard the Lord say, offer this boot camp. I heard the Lord say, come on Saturdays, come on. I was going to actually do it at 12 o'clock because that's the time I usually meet with my group sessions. But then the Lord told me to meet at 10 o'clock. So I'm hearing the voice of the Lord and I'm responding to what he's saying, okay? I'm listening to what the Lord is saying relating to the videos that I put out, okay? The teaching and topics that I create for my YouTube channel. This is what being prophetic in the marketplace means, okay? And you can move and you can respond in the marketplace. The Lord may give you a word of wisdom for a client or for a customer, okay? My only thing is you shouldn't say, thus saith the Lord. That might be a turnoff, but simply communicating what the Lord is putting in your heart, okay? That is what it means to be prophetic in the marketplace, all right? So your gift as a prophet, your gift as an apostle is for the church, but the ability to be apostolic and prophetic is given to all of us. As a matter of fact, that's why God gave us apostles, prophets, teachers, evangelists, and pastors, so that we would function in these gifts. As we are connecting to these gifts, then their abilities become our abilities. Okay. So God bless you. I appreciate you for watching. Do I have any questions from any of you? Again, I want to encourage you to consider joining our boot camp. Now, what we're currently doing, because I know, we're asking for what might be a little more than you might be willing to pay, but you can actually make payments. If you want to be in the boot camp, you can make payments. And the only thing is I need the payment probably before the first day, but I'll extend it maybe the first week. And so you still have about 3 weeks where if you want to join our boot camp, and you may not have the entire $450, but you can make payments, then just email us and we'll be more than happy to set up a payment schedule with you, okay? But again, I want to encourage you to go to the site and get the free ebook. If anyone have any questions, then you can go ahead. All right. Stephanie said, surely after our meeting, Apostle, the Lord opened an opportunity for me to write a monthly newsletter for my job. Thank you. All right. Now, Stephanie is currently one of my one-on-one clients, and I don't usually make that announcement because I don't want people bothering her or trying to go after her, but she just shared a great piece of news with me. Thank you, Stephanie, and I'm just looking forward to the Lord doing more and more in your life, okay? All right, so any questions from anybody relating to the ministry and the marketplace? Yes. Yes, and see, Stephanie also is a scribe. She's a prophetic scribe, and she's operating in those gifts. So that, again, that's one of the benefits of having a coach, okay? Having a coach / mentor in your life, because they can actually cause your gifts to accelerate. It can cause your gifts to flourish, and you start operating in your gift, and then great things start to happen for your life. So I'm really excited to hear that, Stephanie. Thank you for sharing that. All right, anyone have any questions? So again, I have a free ebook for you, whether you join the boot camp or not. Please go to that post, which is at the top of the chat box, and you can download that free ebook. And then we have a second. And then we have a second. We have a second link there, Expanding Horizons, Learning Ministry, Learning Marketplace. And that's actually the page where we talk more about the Ministry and Marketplace Bootcamp. It's going to start on Saturday, July the 1st. We're going to go probably 28 days. We may go the entire month of July. And if you want to join, again, you can email me and set up a payment plan, okay? You can set up a payment. So, all right, I'm going to wait another minute to see if we have any questions. And if not, I'm going to get out of here. And I pray that you enjoy your Saturday, your Shabbat. It's a day of rest, y'all. So rest today. Get you some rest. Do something that you enjoy, okay? All right? Shabbat is really about a day of finishing our work, and it's a day of enjoyment and taking a breath and then getting ready for the new week, which starts tomorrow. And the new month, Tammuz, is coming, the Hebrew month Tamaz is coming on Tuesday. So we'll be back Tuesday evening at 7:30, and we'll be doing the prophetic meeting for the month of Tamaz. Okay. All right. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for joining, being a part. Thank you, Latoya, for joining us. For the rest of you, I don't know who you are, but thank you for joining us this morning. So we'll be seeing you. All right. So shalom, everybody. We'll be back on next Saturday, which may be our last Q&A. And so we'll be back on next Saturday to share another Q&A on ministry in the marketplace. Shalom.